Hello everyone, welcome to another Narc Survivor live video. A bit like the older videos in this one. Walking through this park, by this lake. And there's a view of this town in the distance. So I'm just going to be walking around here as we go through the topic for this video. Just been looking at the birds, the ducks and the swans. There's some ducks going there. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing okay. Deanna says hi. Hello, Deanna. Amanda says hi. Hello, Amanda. Just going to stop here because path is kind of blocked. A lot of people. You know how it is. In this place, people will just push you off. Push you off the pathway. That's how I ended up making these videos. People are out here to upset someone. They're very antagonistic. But that's actually why I come here. Why I took this time out of my day to come for a walk in this park. I come here just for some peace. But unfortunately, as many of you may experience, you go to a park. Not everyone is there looking for peace. Some people cannot get the same fulfillment as you can from such beauty, such as this. A park with a lake and birds. Check out these ducks. And there's a variety of them as well. This is what it's about, just living your life. Doing what you want to do. As long as it isn't illegal. It can feel illegal sometimes. I mean, obviously there's some things such as maybe you're enjoying a tub of vegan Ben & Jerry's and you may be thinking, wow, I can't believe this isn't a crime. Got to chuck a bit of humor in there sometimes. They say laughter is the best medicine. And I hope that it is, because it's definitely a medicine I take every day. Viva Survivor says beautiful. Amanda Surley says beautiful. Yeah, that's what I come out here for. Not to talk to anyone, not to spend time with other people's families, strangers. Nope, not for Narc Survivor. I come out here just to spend some time alone. A waterfall. And I know it may seem simple to some of you, just going out for a walk, and honestly, so many people, and I know this is the experience for many of you, if you've dealt with a real narcissist. Narcissists, they can't find fulfillment in anything. So they go about their lives, they literally run through things, and they don't see the beauty in anything. They don't admire anything. Everything just passes them by. And that's why they're just never happy.
This way. This way.
Just trying to get away from all these people. Yes, so many. There's actually very few people in this entire park, as you can see. But they all just come around me. It's my gravitational energy field. It just lifts people up, my high vibration. I have been working on it. I have been meditating. A vegan. 6.5 years now. So I definitely pride myself on my clean energy. Now you may think, I do appear a bit tense sometimes. But honestly, it does take a lot of energy and a high vibration to get through some of the things that I have to go through. Another view angle. You know what I really like? And many people might overlook it, but I like the stream of water that these ducks leave behind. It's almost like a jet. And that's just it, isn't it? I mean, nature is that incredible that even the birds, we really took the design of planes from birds. That's where we got it from. But yeah, I'm just trying to get away from all the people here. Not really interested in strangers, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter how big the place is. I always have people on my back. I can't ever get away from them. And so I'm always on edge, I'm always irritable. Even though my main focus is always just to bring a positive message to you. But when you're around constant negativity, it's very difficult to do that. I mean, if someone told you they were in a narcissistic relationship and you see them and they're just smiling, laughing and joking, you'd think there's something wrong with them. And that's just it. When you're around negative people, how are you meant to be happy with them? You can't. But then negativity, it feeds on your positivity. And yeah, that's it. We're going to get into this now. How you know that you're dealing with a real narcissist. Because there's lots of information online. And yet nobody can really confirm if you're dealing with a real narcissist. They would have to be diagnosed. But then there are certain things to look for. There are certain things that can reveal to you if they are actually a real narcissist. Just to give you an idea of it. Because, you know, they'd have to go to therapy and it could take months to diagnose it. But if you just want some idea of if this person could be a narcissist, then this video is definitely the video for you. So hit that thumbs up button. And now let's get into it together as I walk through here. This forest. You can see it's still wintertime here. Lots of brown leaves. Most of the trees have no leaves at this time of year. Because they fall off in autumn. But yeah, it's a very beautiful forest. It kind of reminds me a little bit of when I was in Japan. Because they also have the 4 seasons there. And it's very cold there in the winter at this time of year. So here's what you got to know about narcissists. And if you're dealing with a real narcissist, even male narcissists, they're very feminine. So they love gossip, chaos, drama, reactions. They love to argue. And they will always win every argument. Not because they're always right, but because they will stoop so low. They will say and do things that a normal person never would. Now you see the waterfall close up. Enjoy the sounds of running water. Kind of like when you're running the water for a hot, relaxing bath. Although, as I said, it is cold out here. But yeah, they will stoop so low. They will say things that a normal person never would. And they will always win every argument because they have spent their entire lives manipulating and lying to people. So you're never going to win an argument with them. Even if you have all of the facts and evidence in the world, it doesn't make a difference because truth does not matter to them. The only thing they really care about are their feelings, even their self-image, the false self. This is all for their feelings. It's all just to make them feel better. So it's all they really care about. Got a squirrel here eating. Lots of squirrels here in this forest. But yeah, all they care about are their feelings. And the problem that they have is that although, yes, they have a false character, they are always miserable. And because they're always miserable and they're unable to take themselves out of it, they're unable to manage to regulate their own emotions, they always feel entitled to something from you because you're very different to them. You're like the opposite of them. They're empty, you're full. They're in scarcity, you're in abundance. You're full of energy and life. So of course they're going to gravitate towards you and they're going to want to argue with you. And they're always going to have to win the argument so that they can feel better about themselves. And this is the process that every narcissist will take you through because it really does something for them. It makes them feel better about themselves. But now let's talk about how they will win the argument, because I mentioned how they don't care about truth. So if you have all of the facts and evidence, that doesn't matter to them because all they care about are their feelings. So they will win the argument with their feelings by making themselves feel better in the argument, by targeting your appearance. Your looks, your hair, anything negative that they can think of, anything that they can perceive as wrong. And it's really what they have to go to because they are idealizing you. They're viewing you as perfect in that moment. You make them feel inferior. So of course the next step is for them to bring you down. It's for them to devalue you in this argument. And it's because they already know that you're right and they're wrong. So this argument just becomes one big denial of who they actually are, how they actually feel about themselves. It just becomes an opportunity for them to express their lies. It becomes one big projection where they just unload all of their negativity, all of their negative feelings about themselves onto you, and then you're left to carry the burden. You're left walking on eggshells. And you just have to accept it. You have to tolerate it because otherwise they're not going to be happy about it. And they're going to push you even further, force you to accept it as your own. Because they already know that it's not yours. They know that it's their problem. And yet they're unable to manage it. They're unable to deal with it. So this is why they're constantly pressuring you. They're constantly pressuring you to back away from the truth, back away from reality. Because you're pressuring them by living in truth and acceptance, by being in this high vibration. It's affecting them. And yes, even the male narcissist is like this. They are divas. They want to be the princess. They want you to drive them around. They want you to take care of them. They want you to baby them, pacify them, appease them. Your whole purpose when you are around a narcissist is to lower yourself, humble yourself, to make them feel more comfortable around you. And yes, it does make them feel very comfortable to have someone attractive, someone successful, someone who's just all around goods. They want to take that person and make them bad, make them angry, make them unstable, and then they can feel better. That's really what they're trying to do. And they do not care about who you are, your qualifications, what you've accomplished, what your intent is, your potential, other people you might be taking care of and what you might be doing for them. None of that matters. They could care less. All they can care about in that moment is their fragile ego, their emotions. Nothing else matters. And of course, you know, we see this in so many cases. Just look at Johnny Depp, Will Smith, A-list Hollywood actors. Jada Smith and Amber Heard, they didn't care about that. They didn't care that they're Hollywood actors and they're super successful. All they cared about is their feelings, their fragile ego. That took the priority over everything else. And this is how it always is with narcissists. It's always that way. And this is why when you look around at the world, all of the successful people, all of the people in positions of power, maybe not all, but most of them, they're all narcissists. They're all just all about themselves. They're all obsessed with themselves. How many successful celebrity or entrepreneur empaths do you see in the world? Just get into the car now. Into the Jeep. But yeah, it feels so much better to just come back to the car because, oh, it's horrible being around these types of people. Just the energy. And you could probably see, you know, as I'm walking around, they follow me and they stop and wait next to me. Or they follow behind me, they hound me down. It's a horrible experience, you know, you're just like this person's, like the parent they never had, their caretaker. You have to take care of their unstable emotions. And then gradually it destabilizes you. Real Money Paulie says, if you tell them hi, Sometimes it catches them off guard. That's a great observation. How you notice that catches them off guard. Because they may not want you to see that. But it does, because what they're doing is they're in predator mode. They're observing you, envying you. You're like their next meal. And so in that moment, they are dissociating. They're disconnected from themselves and connected to you. So if you say hi to them, now they wake up. Now they have to come back to themselves to interact with you. They just snap out of predator mode, pretty much. It's kind of like if you have a pet, and the pet is prey, and you just click this near them, or just wave your hand in front of their eyes, and then they'll snap out of it. It's the same thing with these types of people. They're in predator mode. They're hungry, starving. And you're looking very nutritious to them. But yeah, that's really what it comes down to, is that they are unable to manage their emotions. They can't take care of themselves. And so they have to destabilize you, target your peace and comfort, target your nervous system, so that you begin to unwind, you begin to unravel. And now you're just trying to keep the peace. You're trying to make them feel better. You're fawning. You're becoming their caretaker, their supply. Because now they've destabilized you. You just wanted to stop. So that's how they... And it's because they do not possess the capabilities to survive on their own, because their emotional needs were unmet in childhood. That's why they always have to provoke, they always have to agitate you for no reason. I mean, you're just minding your own business. You're just trying to have a stable, fulfilling relationship with them, and they're not having it. They're leeches, parasites. They feed on people. And it does not matter what they look like. It doesn't matter if they're smiling, laughing, joking. It doesn't matter if they look like they're living their best lives. It's all fake. So if the narcissist in your life, it could be a friend, it could be an ex-partner, and it looks like they've moved on and they're on to something else. You see them on social media and it looks like they're having a great time. It's all fake. The appearance does not matter. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter if they are materialistically successful. They have lots of money. They have a nice car. Actually, that can make things even worse. That can just confirm even more that you may be dealing with a narcissist. Because as psychologist Dr. Ramani has mentioned in her videos, she has found that many drivers on the road who engage in road rage tend to be driving the nicer cars. So it doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter if they look good or if they take good care of themselves or if they're successful. That's irrelevant. That doesn't mean they're a good person. And in fact, they will manipulate you with their appearance. That's what they use to fool you, deceive you. It's all about image for them. It's not about how things actually are. It's about how they want to present them to be. And that's why they become envious, competitive, and they target your appearance when they're arguing with you. Because they have to think that's all that matters. It's not so much that they want it to be that way, where they're overly concerned with superficial things, how things appear. It's because they haven't got a choice. They really struggle to manage their emotions, to feel good, to enjoy life. So they have to have these things. They have to have this image. They have to present it to you. They have to make it out like they're perfect, because what else can they do? They can't do anything about who they actually are as a person. And that's another sign that they're a narcissist. There's no accountability, no improvement, no change, no acknowledgement of their actions. It's like it never happened. It's like the person that you've seen, that you've experienced, and where things have been done to you, it's like that person doesn't even exist. And that over time you start to feel unseen, unheard, invisible, like you don't exist. Again, that's a projection. They are the ones who do not exist. You do. While you may be feeling invisible, and when no one can validate what you've experienced is real. What they're doing and how they're just splitting and becoming something else from one moment to the next is not real. Because they can't just suddenly change that quickly. Real change takes a very long time. And of course, those of us who have actually managed to heal to some level from this will know that. It took me years to get out of the fog and become aware of this. I've invested years of my life into my recovery. Again, no accountability, no acknowledgement of their actions. A normal person does not behave that way. Normal people can accept the things that they have done wrong. They can accept when they've gotten angry, when they've lashed out. They don't just develop this amnesia where they just forget about it, or you bring it up and they just dismiss it, they deny it. That's not normal behavior. That's very, very strange. It's very unusual. Where they're just splitting from one moment to the next. People who do that have no true identity. You're not even dealing with a real person. They're fake. And narcissists are fake. Narcissists don't have a real identity. So this is what gives you a good idea of what you're dealing with. And how they always have to argue because they're empty inside. They can't generate their own sense of peace, stability, fulfillment. So they have to argue because the argument is a transaction so that they can get it from you. And this is why they're always engaged with you, and yet at the same time, they appear to hate you or not have any interest in who you actually are as a person. Because it's all about the energy exchange. When people lie, cheat, deceive their way through life, They can't generate their own positive energy. They can only ever be negative parasites. They have to leech off of you. So yeah, this is how you know what you're dealing with. Because people who have a real self, a real identity, people who are not narcissists, they're more quiet, they're more peaceful. They're not constantly trying to agitate you, get under your skin, destabilize you. That is not normal behavior. That means that something is wrong. As you can probably hear, it's raining here now. I managed to walk around this lake before it started raining. But yeah, a big part of the argument is targeting your confidence and your conviction. Because they can see that you are confident in yourself and in your perceptions. That destabilizes them. They need supply. They need that validation. So they target your nervous system. They confuse you. They get you to dissociate. That makes them feel confident in their narrative. And their narrative is fake. That's how it's all based on emotions rather than logic. And that's how, when they destabilize you, they target your nervous system, you get emotional. And no matter how much you try to reason things with your emotions, you stay trapped in it. You can't make sense of it. Because you have to raise your vibration first. And they use you for that. They use you to raise their own vibration. It doesn't get them very far, though. They can feel maybe a false sense of pride. That's all that they really get from arguing with you. Because arguing, it doesn't get someone anywhere. They don't even possess real reasoning skills. But yeah, you'll never be able to reason with their disorder. You'll never be able to make sense of it. Crazy will make you crazy. You will never be able to heal them in an argument or in anything, but especially not an argument. I mean, you trying to take care of them, to help them, to manage their emotions, it's only going to end up destroying you. Because it's very rigid, it's inflexible. This is about survival for them. Anthony Chipmunk says, it took me years with this channel and other channels in trying to heal. Yeah, it can take years. At the moment that you start to heal, they will sense it and come back. They'll feel you slipping away outside of their control. They do not like people healing. They're victims. They want to leave you destroyed. That's what they want for you. They don't want you to ever move on. They want to be always on your minds. Because that's validation and control for them. And they're very jealous to see you moving on. Danny says, I like to take a hot flask of hot chocolate hiking. Hits the spot in awful weather. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I myself, I am avoiding sugary drinks now, even fruit juice, other than on rare occasions. But I used to have fruit juice daily, and I stopped that now. But what I have got with me, ready for the gym. Keep all my drinks in my backpack. I've got my water flask and my protein powder, ready for a protein shake after the gym. But the hot drink that I have with me today, or that I always have before the gym, is my black coffee. But it's not black because I want it to be. It's just because I ran out of milk. I ran out of oat milk. So it's coffee for me. I'm trying to have as many healthy options as I can. But I do enjoy a hot chocolate myself as well. I do love chocolate. Vegan chocolate. Those of you who have watched my early live videos, you may remember I did a video in the Lake District. I rented a nice big, I think it was 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom house. And I was in the basement lounge. And it was an old style, like a traditional house with a fireplace, and I was eating a box of Booja chocolates. Remember, especially when I watched the video back, that was a good box of chocolates. It's quite expensive now, though, especially these days. But I do love my chocolate. And I do appreciate now that the brand that we have here in the UK, Galaxy, they do vegan chocolate. And it is very good. They do, there's a vegan caramel and a vegan cookie dough chocolate bar. But yeah, I love chocolate. I eat chocolate pretty much every day. And I don't feel guilty about it either. Because you got to have a treat now and again. But nighttime is the time for me. If I eat well throughout the day, then I treat myself with something small at night. Amanda Surley says, gave up on love for adrenaline. They chose the path of destruction destroyers. That's it, you know, they have an addiction. This is all about addiction. They're addicted to the adrenaline rush of being a predator and chasing someone down, of pursuing someone. Even in the relationship, they're constantly pursuing you, or they're getting you to chase after them for accountability or understanding. There's always a chase. There's always a game of cat and mouse. because it gives them a thrill. It gives them an adrenaline rush and a dopamine hit. It's very sick. But this is what they like to do, and they will get you onto it too. But fortunately, we're starting to understand these things, and we now know people who are going through this, they're not crazy. It's because this has been done to them. But yeah, it's great to see lots of new people in the live chat today. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and click all notifications so that you will be notified when I go live again. Always new topics on my live videos every day. And we do have this wonderful community on here of survivors. So whatever you're going through, we can always talk about it together. There's always support for you on here. To see people talking about food now. But yeah, whatever you enjoy in life, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's foods or going to a park, listening to music, they will try to destroy it. They will make you hate it because they don't want you to enjoy or love anything other than them. They want you to worship them and only them. And that's it. You know, they could be jealous of anything. They could be jealous of a song, a TV character. They could be jealous of a pet. They could be jealous of your own child. They could be jealous of your favorite food. They could be jealous of a tree. If you have a favorite tree, there's no extreme that they don't go to. It's extreme jealousy. Anything that you're clinging to as a source of fulfillment and joy, it will irritate them. Kaz King says, I wasn't allowed to listen to music. Yeah, this is how it is. I remember life coach Michele Nieves, she mentioned in one of her videos, she'd have to wait for her husband to leave the house just so she could read a book. And then when he came home, she would have to hide the book under her pillow as if it was her lover, as if she was cheating on him for reading a book. That's how jealous and controlling they are. But then there's other things that they won't control you with. Because they will gradually direct you to things that are harmful to you. So it's like this, all of the things you're trying to do, trying to achieve, they will shut the door on all of them. And then they'll leave one door open to one thing that is permitted for you to do. Something bad, such as you staying at home, you not spending time with your friends, or you drinking alcohol all of a sudden. They'll leave that door open. And then later on, they will blame and shame you for it, smear you, tell everyone about it. It's that easy. It's that simple. Doesn't have to be complicated. They won't let you do anything positive. But of course, we're human. We're always kind of inclined to do something. Although some of us do become zombified as well. It does become a phase for us. But we're always moving towards something, especially, when you're with a narcissist. They're constantly pushing you, pressuring you. Then they drag you into something negative. And this is how it's very common for victims of narcissistic abuse to have alcohol addictions, substance misuse, all types of negative things. And then they blame and shame you for that. They smear you, make it out like you're the crazy one, and isolate you. But yeah, there is support for you on here. We are all here to support each other. So hit that subscribe button, stay notified on my future uploads. Give it a thumbs up if this video was informative for you. And for more resources on narcissism, I take the time every day to write new blogs, edit them. On the website, it is narcsurvivor.co.uk. And if you'd like to support my work, you can donate. Go to paypal.me/narcsurvivor. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'm off to the gym now. Thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you soon.